All right, team. So here is a quick overview of the Sacramento real estate market. Um, so criteria is as follows. This is just Sacramento County over the last 15 years. So what we're looking at is the for sale, sold, pending, and new listings. So you're going to see the light green is for sale, dark green sold, red line pending, blue line new listings. And I'll see if I can zoom in on this here a little bit. If I can zoom in, there we go. You're going to see that basically over the last 5 years, right at this mark, the real estate market seems to be pretty consistent and pretty predictable year after year. And you see that there's the uptick, then the downturn, the uptick, then the downturn, and then we're going right along that uptick. In regard to new listings. So we're going to start seeing a lot of new listings hit the market. We're going to start seeing new pendings, a lot of more deals going into escrow, and inventory is still short. Now, this massive green blob right here was when the real estate bubble was growing, when it bursted, and when the recession took place. And then this is the recovery, especially with an increase in inventory with short sales and foreclosures and hitting the market and offloading a bunch of that inventory. So you can see that inventory had just a dead spot right here in 2011, 2012, started increasing back in 2013. And it's fairly consistent. So based upon this, we're going to start seeing an increase in inventory. Probably not super crazy real estate market in regards to just a ton of inventory, a ton of sales. It'll probably just stay right consistent, especially as interest rates kind of stay status quo and where they're at. Unless they start creeping up, then we might start seeing some pressure on prices. The next one is average price per square foot. So in Sacramento County, you're going to start seeing that we're almost pretty damn close to where we were back in the bubble as far as what the homes are worth. So price per square foot, you can see that we peaked right around 250, and we're getting right around 230? 230. So we're only $20 per square foot away from probably one of the highest it's ever been in history in Sacramento County, especially since 2015 or since 2005, 6, 7, before the bubble and before the recession. Days on market. So we're starting to see the sale price versus original list price. That's that green line. And we're going to start seeing that, it's staying right below 100%. So homes are not going for above asking price in most cases. On average, they're selling for basically what they're listed for. The orange is the average cumulative days on market. And we're going to start seeing that homes are staying on the market a little bit longer. And my guess is because sellers are thinking their house is worth a hell of a lot more than it actually is. And they're trying to overly price them, which is going to cause them to sit on the market longer. So we might start seeing some proper education of sellers and getting that realistic price to where it needs to be so it sells quickly. Average price per sold price. So red is what it actually sold for. Green is what it was for sale for. You see that gap right there. So, the homes are being listed for above what they're actually worth and what people are willing to take for them. So we're seeing that gap, and it looks like it was starting to close in a little bit, but now you see that one spike, which kind of goes back into days on market. And my theory is that people are just expecting a hell of a lot more from their property, and they're not getting it. Months of inventory, as you can see here, that it's just completely still at a historic low. Inventory has been at its lowest over the past 15 years, other than this little stint here in 2012, 2013. But, we're seeing that in 2018, inventory is still ridiculously low, which is going to put pressure on home prices, which why sellers think that they can also ask for more because there's really nothing on the market, which is a best guess in the seller and an agent's perspective because they have no data to go off of, especially if there's nothing in their market that's sold. So let's take a look at Placer. All right, so Placer County over the past 15 years, Same thing. You see the same pattern, right? You see the up, the down, the ebb and flow, and then you see that spike right here. So it's staying pretty consistent with Sacramento County. The Bay Area is going to make a huge difference in the real estate market in the Tri-County area because the Bay Area market is just getting incredibly too expensive for most people, and they can't live there. So they're selling properties down there, they're buying properties up here, and they're willing to pay, gosh, whatever they want for the property because it's better than down there. So that's going to add some pressure on prices to go up, and we're just going to continue to watch interest rates. Average price per square foot, same thing here. Placer County's got a little bit higher of a price per square foot. So we broke the 260 back in the heyday. And in 2018, we're approaching the 240 mark. So still right around the $20 per square foot off from where we were during the bubble. Days on market, same. Here it's a little bit less than Sac County. So people are accepting a little bit less from what their home is listed for to what they're actually accepting. And days on market, you see that little spike here, except last month you see that little dip. So homes in Placer County are just they're going a little bit faster than in Sacramento County, whether it's based on location, whether it's based on pricing it right. There could be a lot of variables. So we just got to continue to watch that. Interesting. So you see in Placer County, kind of goes back to the days on market, just like it did when I reviewed Sac County. Is you see that the for sale price went up, and then you see that little drop, and then you see the sold kind of still increasing. So sellers, at least in Placer County, are getting a little bit more realistic about what their homes are going to sell for. And that could be because there could be a lot of variables there. They may want to get rid of it faster. Maybe they have to relocate, or the agent's doing a great job in educating them on here's where we need to price your house. So in Placer County, we're starting to see that little dip. And if that trend goes up, then there might be a little happy medium right around this area, in the next 3 to 6 months, where homes are going to start selling faster because they're being priced appropriately. Inventory, no different here. So inventory is still at a historic low, except for that 2012, 2013 mark and period. But as of right now, the real estate market is definitely a seller's market. If anybody is looking to sell, now is the time. Because of the low inventory, your house will sell if it's priced right. And that's the thing, is that we always have to remember that any house will sell. It could be a multi-million-dollar property. It could be a $100,000 property. It could be a perfect move-in ready house. It could be a complete tear down flip. As long as it's priced right, it will sell. So this is just a quick overview of the kind of Sacramento, Placer County real estate market, and it's a great market. It's hot. You can see the patterns. If you just look at patterns, you look at the data, you can see that unless something dramatically happens or changes from a government perspective, interest rates, financing, other environmental variables, it looks like it's just going to be a pretty steady ride over the next year for a real estate market. So new listings will continue to climb. It'll hit a market, or it'll peak right around summertime. It'll start to decline as we get into fall and the winter. Homes will start selling a little bit slower around that time. So if you're a seller, now's the time to sell. Just we got to price it right, and we got to move it quickly, so that way it's not sitting on the market. So I hope this has been helpful. So take a look at it and share this information.